Up a little. All right. Down a little, down, right there. Sunday, Perry Regatta #1 for the year, for the season. San Pedro. Look for the video for day 1. This is day 2. We're off the Los Angeles terminal. They got the Z flag up, no I flag around the ends rule. Race 1 on Sunday. This will be race 5 for the regatta. We finished the last race last night at 6:10.
I'd like to know those 3 numbers in order. I want to know which one is the closest to you, because I can't tell if he's the triangle, but the other...
So these guys coming downwind have broke the Z flag, and they are mature sailors. They're kids that are well into high school. And they did not remember the cardinal rule that at 12 o'clock, you know, you got to have your watch. A lot of kids get a lot of clinics and training and everything, and at 11:55 you should have been sitting right here. You can have notebook upon notebook upon notebook of knowledge, and if you cannot remember the fundamentals that you got to be at 11:55, you got to be at the start line. Look at 9310 Kylian. That's just a really good start. Really good start. Who else are we looking for? 2441. I don't see them. 7632, that's Anton. Now, I don't think I would be going early right here because the current is in our face. I don't know if you can see it up here. Right up in here somewhere is the channel marker. And you get to the right of that and the current increases. Theoretically, it should look lighter wind on that side because the water's moving the same direction as the wind, basically. And then it should, but you know, that just takes a lot of years of practice of reading all that stuff. That's boat 11. They're first in the regatta, and you see how the jib slot is closed. They don't really use a ton of weather sheet. That's pretty cool. So they're fast, those girls. Yesterday we learned to stay forward up to the shrouds when we're bending our knees or raising ourselves up on the trap. And then as we get puffs, we twinkle toes back just a little bit. They're kind of the best at it. And they're the right size for 3 to 11 knots, which was most of it. This just looks really good. We went on starboard for a little while, and 2441. And we got the channel markers. There's one out there. This tripod one we don't have to worry about as much. That's actually in shallow water. That's a shoal marking one. I think these boats over here are in adverse current. So here we go. We're going to learn a lot, because if these guys come out of this corner well, the next race you have to be one of the boats leading. I think she is going to come out quite well right here in the middle. Her jib was a little fraction looser than boat 11, but she looks like she's going plenty high. Cool. She's going to be beating quite a few good people. There's a lot of bad air over there, and I just don't see the wind going left right now. We'll see. 9310, rounding 2, 4, 6. That's her video right there in front of Carly Keating. Outstanding. And we worked on keeping the guy back more. Black and white kite right there. Worked on keeping the guy back more and not heeling too much. Again, when you heel over, the spinnaker rocks to leeward. Still flat like that. You only need to heel the leeward so that the boat will kind of head up itself. Now, there's a lot of tactics going on here, but she should just not sail too low, right at the same angle as those boats next to her, because there's a huge amount of boats to her left. So she should just be patient, just wait. And Bella should look at the pole angle of the boats ahead of them and put it about the same place. And Kylie should look at the boom angles of the boats ahead of him and put it about the same place and then just wait. She's awful low. She's doing fine, but her jib is really soft. If your jib goes really soft, that means you're more on a dead down wind angle or lower angle. And if your jib has a lot of pressure in it, then you're more on a front reach angle. So you're steering by your jib. Vesper over there with the purple kite, she's doing just fine. She wanted to try going in on port tack early. It should be good with the current going down the course right now. The current is ebbing. Race 1 on Sunday. Race 5 for the regatta. Blue and yellow kite, again, somewhere around the top 10 again. They've got somebody on their wind right now, but doing quite well. 9310 is still in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, still in 6, going maybe a fraction too low. Got to be careful of losing the kite like that. That's indicative of going too low. When you start to see elephant's ass in your kite like that, all those wrinkles down the middle of the center of the kite, then you're going too low. Yep, see how it vibrates through? You can see that vibration. That means you're too low. And it looks good, but I bet you anything, all of these boats jive and cross it. Gotta sail higher. Kylie coming in over here somewhere. Here's Kevin and Holland coming in to 9315. This is gonna be a nutty rounding. This guy lost a lot. He was way ahead. Carly coming in, I think. I think this is Carly coming in over here. I think. No. Let's see. 9310 was in 6th. Did a pretty good job of coming downwind here. She has got a million people to her right. So she should be shooting on a reach for this end, I think. I don't know. But they did okay. I mean, they're still only 20. They lost 20 seconds, and they're going to be 15th probably. They might just luck out and get around this left gate without too much trouble. Oh, this is Carly right here, 2383. So Bella's right with the boat that's in 2nd in the regatta. I just got 3rd at Nationals. Here comes Vesper right behind the pack. Kevin, line 315. Vesper is the one that's going to do the best, I think. Oh, that's hard. That's hard. It is just a tough fleet. You can't really get too upset about it. It's just a hard fleet. They're all getting to the mark. Yeah, so when you're watching the video, you have to understand that there's a good 12 teams out here that have raced in this Perry series for 3 or 4 years. So you get 36 races a year against some of the best sailors in the country. You know, there's 4 or 5 that are in the top 10 in the country here. A couple guys, a few teams that have won some regattas on the East Coast and stuff. They just look outstanding. They're just going good upwind. They got their jib better today. Their slot is just perfect. Yesterday the slot was too open. Today the vang is on a little more. So, and she doesn't have to play the main right now because they're trapping better, but they're too blocked. Perfect twist. They just sailed right around this boat. That's really sweet. It's a small margin of error. You just got to get the reach of the jib in the right place, and you got to look at it a lot, and you got to practice speed a lot, and you just got to keep finding the trim that works for you. Race 2 on Sunday. Race 6 for the regatta. Again, Z flag means that you're going to get a 20% penalty that will be added onto your score. So we got 46 boats. The penalty is 9 points. Rounded off, it's 9. So if you get a Z flag penalty, you have to start correctly and you get the Z flag. If they have a general recall and they get another start and then you get another Z flag, you're in the triangle between the 2 orange flags and the windward mark with less than a minute, so you get a second 9315 is not us. That's the other 9315. 7632 Anton. 9315 Kevin is gonna pop out here right below 4307. Oh, 4307's got it. Oh wow, gee, well that's starry. No X flag.
Coaches who might be interested, that was all clear, no CFP.
Okay, I think the leaders of the last race gained more by going right. So you never know what the conditions are going to do. The current should be getting weak. I do see a current line weaseling off of that day marker out there. So it'll be interesting to see what happens between these boats. You can see the difference in twists. 9770 has too much twist. This one just right over here, too much twist. The other boats have less twist. And you have to try to play the main as little as possible. There's Carly right there, watch. See how the main is only being played an inch or two or three. And the reason is because when you ease the main out, the boat's gonna wanna bear away a little. And so then you have to push the tiller, and then you trim the main in, and the boat wants to head up, and you have to pull the tiller. So overplaying the main sheet is a problem in a lot of boats. For every inch you ease the main sheet, the twist in the top of the main is a lot. Look at her, she's just got it locked in, and they're just fighting it instead of letting out. She just eased an inch or two. That's Carly right there. And you'll see the crew will even stay low now and let her butt down. She won't raise her, like yesterday they were raising themselves up more, but now it's windier, so you'll see she'll just bend her knees and stay low a little more, especially if the skipper says good breeze. Low butt is good once you don't have to worry about heeling to windward. You want to keep your body low. You're just crossing that amount of wind now. Now it does look windier on the right. There wasn't the hole on the left that they had on the second beat. So I still think going right was less risky. That's why we were promoting that. Race 2 on Sunday, race 6, mark 1. First windward leg. Kevin and Holland coming around in 2, 4, 6, 7. Black and white kite. Again, I don't think either side was dominant, but the right is probably less risky. Now we've got a little more wind. This is the leaders. You're gonna watch her. She's gonna look back at the wind and the boat's behind. There she goes. And now watch. Speed, 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 speed. Getting ready to jibe. She's getting something ready. The leader, it's gotten windy enough where the leader actually heels to windward to turn the boat down. He's rocking a little. Yeah, he's just turning as he heels a little. If he goes flat, he'll turn down a little. Yeah, flat, 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 flat. Look at her. She looks, she looks, she looks. Speed, speed, speed. Look at her. Her head's down and she's just dialed in 100%. Speed, 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 speed. And then watch, she'll look back again. Yep. Crew's not looking. Skipper's looking. There's Kevin and Holland. Looking good. Crew hikes a little when the boat heels to leeward a lot. The boat heels, you let it heel a little, and then you hike against that until the boat's flat. You don't want to rock it necessarily to windward. Again, you just see that spinnaker not pulling. Gotta go higher, gotta pull the guy back. More guy back. More higher force. We talked about that between races. You notice the spinnaker's not even close to proper fullness compared to the ones we just walked. See? low like that, but then when people out here jive, they cross you by a bunch. Okay, and then this looks really good. Here's 2441. That looks really good. Their bang is too tight, for sure. But spinnaker looks good. Don't want to go any lower. I think that's probably perfect for us, but I can see the jib kind of in the middle. And too much heel on those. Too much heel. That gives you too much weather helm. It makes it so you're having to fight the rudder against the course of the boat. So that's creating drag. Too much heel. This looks good. A little too low. And bang a little too tight. I can see the bang. The leech is just too solid, and there's an overbend wrinkle. There you go. In the puffs, everything looks beauty. It's interesting because the current still looks like it's hanging out, even though it's pushing 2 o'clock here. It's got to be close to 2. This is all kelp that's connected to the bottom, but I do think the current has slowed down. Now they're just locked in and they're playing the main sheet. 1 inch at the bottom means 3 inches or so a twist at the top. Yeah, so now they can just lock in and just play the main sheet a little. He's playing it 3 or 4 inches, but mostly locked in. I bet you Kyle, if you look at Carly's, her main sheet's just too locked in. They're just steering and hiking against that, not easy. She is right on the wind. Wow. So maybe Vesper wasn't good. I think Vesper just needs to pull her jib harder. Wow, that's quite a bit of twist right there. Was pretty far ahead of 9310. Look at them go. They are right with Benton too, 9006. 906 is probably the smallest team out here. They're 215 pounds soaking wet. And they've had a couple of top 10 finishes, 9006. 9310 is just the most improved. Mostly just look at her jib. Her jib is in. Look where she's trapping. Look how we got her trapping up by the shroud like the big team. The main looks good. The bang, this looks so good. It looks so good. 11 knots. The problem is that they're ducking the kelp. They're gonna sail through kelp. Yeah, this is hard because that kelp is below the water. You can't really see it in some spots. Anyhow, that was the video of the weekend for me. They did not look like that yesterday. We're stoked. I don't know if you can see how fast those boats are going on the right, but they're almost planing. Look at that guy in the middle. That guy right there. I think that's Kevin and Holland on the hard right, just planing. Look at them. Look at these boats up here, first and second are just planing. Z flag up again. I don't think they caught anybody in the last one. I wanted Vesper to set up a little later, 2441 than she has been, just because she's having to defend herself for so long that it just slowly, the other boats just slowly eat away at her just because they sail high school practice 3 days a week. Most of these kids are over 16 years old. There's very few kids that have both sailors under 16 in this fleet, except for our kids. We've got a 12-year-old, a 13-year-old, 2 14-year-olds, and then also 2 more 14-year-olds. So we have 3 full boatloads of kids who are under 15. Here's 9310 again getting a good start. Not great. You can't see her. They're not quite as good. 9315 good start. You've got to admit it's pretty cool that you can start 46 boats that lined up in a Z flag start. You got to admit the kids' boat handling is pretty good. And that's what do. 9315 just keeps going a little ways, lets these other boats try to pinch them off, get those guys to tack, go just a little further, and then you tack. But just get a little extra gap. Yeah, that's what he's trying to do. He's trying to get rid of 9313. I think this is Kevin in Holland. No, it's not. Oh, it's Braden and Sean. They came to me 2 races ago and they said, Coach John, how do we win the race? And I said, you gotta win the right. And the first race they didn't quite win the right, and this race they did. Yeah, Kevin and Holland. We figure Kevin and Holland's jib is over 10 years old. Looking at the tag on it, the black and white kite there, the jib is, we think it's 10 years old plus. Yeah, that's how you learn. You gotta check all your gear before you show up. So this is race 3 on Sunday. Race 7 for the regatta. We go, look at them. They are 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. They're around the top 20 again. Again, they gotta get this kite pulled out. Unfortunately, their topping lift came undeleted. Oh, she's trying to fix it right now. Wow, she cannot get it to clean. Darn, but she's gotta just get that pulled back. Push it in the cleat. There. Oh. Anyway, that's part of the regatta. We just kind of got our jib in the right place. Kylie super confident. Steering. And they are just a little windier overall for them. And pretty awesome. Yeah, John here. Some sea flags this time, big time sea flags. General recall. Oh, there's a lot, and they only call the ones they get. You know, they don't have to get everybody. If somebody's over and they don't get their number, they don't get a Z flag. I know that sounds crazy, but the sport.
RD, I'm going to go back.
Good job.
As much as you can, that would be helpful.
See, race committee's going to move, pull the anchor in on the boat on the left end, and they're going to let the anchor out on the committee boat end. But yeah, they're going to call the ones they can get and get on. The name of the game in sailing is getting starts off. We're not here to play around forever. And a lot of people think that everything has to be fair all the time, but you know, not really. What needs to be done is they got to get races on. So I'm wondering if it happens in Europe and a lot of places where when the time limit's coming up, a fleet will go over and over and over again on recalls. Anyway, until they abandon. Oh, you can't see it, but it is on black. Black flag. He really wants, yep, there it is. See by the orange flag, it's black flag. So that means if he has a general recall on this, you sail home. So if you really want to sail home, just start over early. Or be above, so you have to be, if you're between the orange flags and the windward mark, that triangle, if you're in that area with less than a minute to go, you are disqualified. And if he has a general recall, you're still disqualified. You are done for the day. So I'm telling you that because we're trying to learn the rules and learn all this stuff. You wouldn't want to be doing well in a regatta and not know the Z flag, the black flag. This guy looks like a smile on his face. He looks like he is going to try to do something. He's going to look like he's got guts coming out. Current should be coming in. That's probably why it's hard to get the starts off. The current is coming in and nobody knows it. Look at the boat in the middle just reaching with the person on the draft. Yep. Oh, our buddies didn't make it. Oh, they did make it. Watch this. Oh, no, they didn't. No, they didn't. Oh. Right there. I mean, they just flipped and didn't finish a race. They had a really rough race. You can see we got their bang tighter, their alcohol tighter now. Once you start flipping, so they flipped once yesterday and once today, and that's fine. Not a lot of experience. This is their first Perry together. 46 boat regatta together. They've done Perrys before, but this is their first one together. In the lighter wind, they had a couple really like 3-4 top 20s yesterday. And then it got breezy and they flipped in a race, and then today they did, and now look at them, man. It's like one of my highlights. 8910 being so fast upwind today, and 2441 making their sails look that good. See, their jib's tighter now, so they're gonna just be much better this race. They had their best start of the regatta, and they had a pretty rough last race. Okay, here they are right here, right there, and look how steady they look. They've got their jib tighter this week, and look how she's not even having to play the main that much, and they're just stable. That's just so much easier. When you have the jib the right tension, it stabilizes the boat because it creates side force, and so then the boat doesn't heel to windward as much as you get light spots and things. They just look so much better. And they're on a big righty. They're gonna round top 20 for sure, maybe top 50. Now these teams are gonna be able to keep the kites way out in front of the boat. You'll see they sail on the edge of control more. But when you're younger, you gotta keep the sheet and the guy just a little tighter relative to each other, but both of them in a little bit. Because otherwise you'll rock too much and you can just stall your rudder out and have a crash when you're less experienced. But you're gonna see the boat's gonna kind of open, and you've got the jib goes from out to straight in the middle. Yeah, so you can just watch the jib. When the jib's straight in the middle, then you know you're really low on the wind, and when the jib's blowing out like this one, then you're more on a broad reach, you're a little higher. And you just change modes between those two. These guys are all bow up. No one's pushing the boat dead downwind really. Yeah. Now that it's this windy, you don't want to go dead downwind for long periods of time. You keep a little bit of heat on it. Get the boat going fast like you can see. Got them. Look at that. Awesome. You can see how flat their main is. That's fine. You can have a flat main in this. And then look right here, again doing quite well. They're pretty small teams that we send up here. She's going too low. See how that jib just isn't filling. Last race, 8th race of the regatta, and you're looking at the stableness of the mast. Trying to watch, look how they get locked in. Here's Kevin and Holland right here. They had a second in the first race. Oh wow, there is a big puff coming up my back right here. So it's, oh no, that's not Kevin Hall. Stable mast. I think they're making the mark pretty easily because the current's coming in, so they're kind of footing right now a little extra. Just see how flat it is. Bending their knees is okay once, usually if you're bending your knees a lot, it means you want to raise yourself up, but it's windy enough now that you can, go ahead and just leave yourself kind of the same height. Yesterday it was more unstable, so we learned that the crew has to